Hi guys, welcome back to Kit Car Direct and MK Sportscars. What's on the show this week? Well, we've got the HAYABUSA Gen1, we've got some more action in the workshop on Project Greg, Project Charles, and we've also got some work on our orange Indie RX5 MC. But for the moment, we need to get this little RX5 beauty on the trailer and out to the customer. Roll the titles. Lost his crust, his hat already. So welcome to the Indie HAYABUSA Generation 1 fire-breathing monster. So this is built with a superbike engine in it from the Suzuki Hayabusa. It's a Generation 1, so it's slightly less horsepower than the Gen 2, but don't let that put you off, honestly. This does what it needs to do when you press that loud button. So we're fully brave with our 50mm roll cage, carbon dashboard, Busa clocks. Well, what's not to like about this? Kawasaki Green, black corners, go faster stripes, the full theatre. This is the full theatre. Pulling in 5th gear, bonkers, absolute bonkers. Wow. It feels like I've got a gearbox full of 2nd gear because all he's doing is revving. Now this Busa doesn't rev as high as some of the other bike engine cars. It's high enough, but it's super smooth. I can't believe it. There's very little vibration in this, which is very surprising. But I just haven't mastered the art of pulling away in a bike engine. Look at the state of the hair. Get across the gate, 1st to 2nd, and now we're clutchless. 2nd to 3rd, clutchless. Into 4th, clutchless. Brilliant. Same again, 3rd gear, clutchless, 4th gear, clutchless, 5th. Yeah, that certainly does wonders for the senses. I like it. surprisingly enough, this car's actually quite nice to drive, like with the bike engine. I'm not getting much reverberation through the chassis, which you'd normally get with a solid mounted engine, so that's actually quite refreshing. Very light on the corners, super duper light. Point and shoot. Torque from the booster engine's absolutely brilliant. But I'm cruising in 6th gear and it does make me feel like I really need another 10 gears in the gearbox due to the revs. It's just a gearbox full of 2nd gear. With the bike engine, you learn to go backwards and make the most of things like inclines in the road and stuff like that. Just like what I did. Very responsive car, feels good. Plenty of power. The booster is just brilliant. Just point and shoot on these little twisty V's. That is absolutely bang on. You've got a bit of a hairpin coming up here. Just point and shoot. 888R tyres. Wow, they are grippy. If you're looking for a car that goes like an absolute rocket ship, then I think you'll be a little bit hard pushed not to enjoy the bike engine car. They're just different gear, they really are. They're crazy fast. I hope you've enjoyed a little test drive of the Indie HAYABUSA. Sad news though, I'm afraid this one is now sold and it's off to its new owner pretty soon. But for now, let's go and have a look in the workshop. Take 45. So we have the rather beautiful Indie RR. You've seen this before, but it's been off to the dyno. And it made on the dyno, because we need to go even faster, not content with his 195 miles an hour or whatever he did. If you tuned into our socials, you would have seen that. I think he was doing not 195 miles an hour, he was doing 95 or 100 miles an hour around Quorum, Snetterton. So this has been to the dyno and it is now running 165 horsepower at the wheels, which in the pub is approximately 195 horsepower, which for a CBR 1000RR engine, that's pretty good. I think I'd be rather happy about that. So next stop is Blighton Park for this, so you will see this at Blighton. So the reason why it's in here, in the workshop, is because the throttle cable snapped, where they were getting a little bit on the heavy-footed side at the dyno. But a quick repair of that, easy repair, and away she goes. So yeah, watch this space. If you like what you see and you're into your kit cars, guys, then why not subscribe to our channel? Press subscribe, click on the bell icon, press all, and it'll send you notifications each week. Back over at the Indie RX5 RR with a Yamaha R1 engine in it, lots of R's in that. We've finally found a bit of time this week to finish off and move forward with this project that seems to have slowed down a little bit, had the handbrake pulled on it. We fitted the paddle shift system. So we've got the cow horn system. Hopefully we should now be able to change gear. So it's another thing ticked off the list. Watch this space, because I don't think we're a million miles away now with this car. New to the workshop, we have got in an Indie Classic. How do we know it's an Indie Classic? Because the shock absorbers are on the outside. So we've got the Indie Classic. This is a CBR 919 Fireblade car, which has come into us with a broken prop. We've fixed the prop and we are doing some work on the bearing, centre bearing. We've got to replace the centre bearing of the prop because it's got worn over its years. So make sure you check your centre bearings in your props, because you don't want to have the prop popping out like this one did. We've also found that it was running on quarter throttle as well. So with a 919 blade on quarter throttle, hopefully when it goes back to the customer, it should go through a little bit more power. So this is a Ford Sierra base car, and we can tell that because it's got the Sierra front uprights. It's also running a Sierra differential at the back, and it's running the Sierra steering column. It's also got a Sierra master cylinder in it, which we do an upgrade on that master cylinder to give you a much better pedal ratio. But the standard one is, it's all right. This one happens to be leaking as well. So there's a few bits and bobs that we've got to check on the car. 50mm roll cage as well. Some of the highlights of the car, 50mm roll cage. Got billet aluminium gear shifter on a cable shift, this one. We're also running a DD2 dashboard. This is not carbon, but it's carbon effect. And we've got a carbon aero screen as well. So there's some nice bits and bobs on this car. Notice it's got drum brakes on the back as well. We do a drum brake to disc brake conversion. So that's available if you want to know a little bit more about your drum brakes on your rear and your disc brakes. Then pick the phone up, give us a call. It's also got a diffuser on it. We've got a couple of those in stock at the moment. As you saw us a couple of weeks ago, we purchased 3 Hayabusas. So the next phase of the Hayabusa, this is a very rare model actually, this one. This is the Fred Flintstone edition. So Dylan's been taking the engine out of this today. This is the result of about, how long has it taken you to get this far? This was fully together this morning. So what, you're about 4 hours in? Yeah, about 4 hours in. So after 4 hours, you can turn your Busa from a 180 mile an hour superbike into, well, a sort of nothing really. It's not even got pedals on it. You saw us earlier in the Hayabusa Gen 1. Now, you know it's a Hayabusa Gen 1 by the clocks. That's a bit of a giveaway. So these are Hayabusa Gen 2 clocks. So the Gen 1 clocks are the squarish looking clocks, and the Gen 2 are like the, I'm going to say Olympic rings clocks. So we're going to get a few more bits and bobs. By the end of the day, Dylan should have that completely stripped down. And that engine will be detailed, rebuilt, compression tested. It's a fully running bike, which has been ridden as well. So we know it's actually still taxed and MOT, this one. So it's been ridden. We know it's good. Engine's coming out. We're going to check the engine over, ship it off to RLM, get them to double check it as well, and then it'll come back and we'll fit it into a car. So stay tuned to see. This is Project Milo. So this is a new one. This is the first part of hashtag Project Milo. Yeah, we're cracking on with that. Make sure you enjoyed this week's episode. Make sure you like and subscribe. We have got some new merch, some new hats. Right at the end of the summer, we have finally had our delivery of caps. So they're in stock, they're ready to go. There'll be a link in the comments below to order your caps. Make sure you order loads of them and they fly out the door. Anyway, like, subscribe, you know where we are.